just friends. 'Cause I would love to be close to you. Coming out to myself, but I don't know how to be just friends. 'Cause I would love to be close to you. Coming out to myself, but I don't know how to be just friends. 'Cause I would love to be close to you.
Welcome everybody, welcome to another episode of Tech Condo Live. Appreciate you for taking the time on your Saturday. It is the last episode of Tech Condo Live of 2023, unfortunately, but also a little bit happy about it, but we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Really appreciate you for taking the time, and we have a lot, some cool stuff to talk about. Exactly 10, to be honest, 10 items I've chosen to talk about today that I think that are a really cool tip. Of course, there's a plethora of more possibilities. At first, I wanted to go from $2,000 downwards. Turned out to be $1,500, and actually, to be honest, it's roughly $1,000 and down because there's only one that is roughly $1,500, and all the others are all less than $1,000, or well. Typically, let's just say it that way. Depends on what you want to do. So 9 products less than 10, and 1.5 products more than 1,000. All right, welcome everybody. Last episode of the year, so that also means that you will not see me for a couple of weeks. I don't know if that's a big problem, but that's the way it goes. I thought it was good for me to take a step back to really basically take some time to reinvent myself a little bit, and looking forward to next year. Next year will be in a transitional year, but I have a question to you immediately from the get-go, and I would like to you now live, but also if you're watching this video after the fact, to use 2 keywords to tell me what you want me to do. There's actually two things. I can either focus more on live, and just like I did last couple of years, live, and no pre-recorded content, because if you look at last year, only 5 videos were made. That's far departure of the 2 videos per month that I was expecting to do. Yeah, and the live shows, and basically the reason why I have to choose is basically I only have a certain amount of time, so it's either only live shows, or the second part is mix, which means that the live shows will be a bi-weekly event, so every 2 weeks roughly, and then I try to fill it with at least 1 video to start with, and hopefully I can get to 2 videos a month that are pre-recorded, but I think that 1 video per month will be a good starting point for next year. So mix, write down mix if you think a bi-weekly show, live show, and let's say 10 videos a year that are pre-recorded. I think that this is the best for my channel, at least. And the second one is live, if you want me to go live, but then there will be no videos, and that will be a bit of a bummer because I really want to step up that production quality. But on the other hand, I also like the community, so that's the reason why I'm asking you, and I will take that along in my decision, and the decision will be revealed to you on the 13th of January 2024, which will be the first episode of 2024. So mix if you want me to have a bi-weekly live show, and also about 10 videos a year, and live if it's only live shows. There you go. I'm not gonna say that that is 100% what you're gonna want, what you want to do. So, but it gives me some idea of what you guys want. Anywho, let me see who's in the show at the moment live. Again, you can also react after the fact. Gerard was the first one to be here. Hello from Stuttgart. Welcome, welcome. Really appreciate it. And he had a good point. Same thumbnail as last week. I think that I that I pressed the wrong button for the first time. Yeah, you can reuse a template, and I did not create a new template, so oops. Will be fixed after the fact. But I also wanted to wait a little bit with the thumbnail anyway, because otherwise I will give you away the 10 parts that I want to talk about, and I didn't want to do that for the live show. Hallo MT, schneit es bei ich auch. Nächste Woche am Freitag bin ich in Neustadt und Rübenberge an Steinhabenmeer. Nice, really awesome. Weiter für Freitag 4 Grad und Regen. There you go. That was a little bit German there for you. So they're talking about the weather and this and snow, that kind of stuff. Was really cool. But indeed, I will give you 10 things that I think that is cool. Well, this is what I just said that. Eric, I like your style. Hello to my fellow moderators of Tekono, Garrett, and MT. Yes, I really want to thank you, all 4 of you, for being there for the channel the last year. Really appreciate that. It did help us occasionally. So let's see if we can continue that. And I hope that we will not be bugged again like we did a couple of weeks ago. I see a question. I'll talk about that very quickly. Do you have any experience with a Blackmagic SDI audio extractor and or injector? Yes, I have both. So I have these Terranex Mini converters that are SDI to audio and audio to SDI, and I actually use them both. The SDI to audio I'm using to provide signal to a mixing board that is local. So for example, if I want to play out a video on the stream or on the TV channel, but I also want to let the people that are there hear it, I can then send it to a mixing board and then make sure that that's also on the local level. And the audio to SDI I typically use to bring that mixing board into the mix. Not at the same time, of course, but basically that is the idea. So yes, I do have that knowledge, and I can share it with you more if that is required. Also, Eric is in the house, and Eric also said where he was from. He is from Rochester, New York, and Rochester, New York is literally about a 20-minute drive from where I lived as a kid, in Fairport, New York. So I feel right at home when I see that every single time. Raoul is in the house. Welcome, Raoul. We appreciate you for taking the time. Of course, for everybody, I appreciate the time, and also for my Irish friends in Waterford. Welcome, Frankie. Appreciate you for being here as well. Let me see. Editing is not easy. Yeah, so this is the thing. Let me just really talk about it a little bit more. Right? So what is the reason why I'm a little bit more focused towards editing at the moment? I want to learn it. I want to make more production, more quality production than I have done in the past, because at the past I was quite fast every single time, but now I really want to make sure that it's more, let's say, cinematic, and teach myself how to do that. That's also the reason why I bought the panel that we discussed last time, the micro panel for DaVinci Resolve. It was literally with the idea to learn how to produce all kinds of colors, and the speed editor, of course. And hey, see, Scooter is watching me. Anyway, so that's the reason why I wanted to do that way, and I'm looking forward to make this as a transitional year. Hopefully, it can go either way. Maybe I'm gonna do both into 2025, or I don't know. We'll see. Let's see how we can get it. Eric says I vote mix. Thank you, Eric, for that. Frankie also says mix for him as well. Empty is also in the mix. That's also fine. Empty, to prepare those videos in advance isn't that easy, and also time consuming. A few videos would be great to fill the not live gaps. Absolutely, I totally agree with that statement. Robert says, aloha, Seal Beach, California. Weren't you somewhere else last time? For some reason, I thought that you said something else last time. That's very awesome. Gareth is also in the mix camp. Okay, cool. Fairport, one of the villages along the area canal. Absolutely. And I was my school was the Dudley School. If that says something to you, Eric. Empty says something that is very important. I wanted to end with that, but indeed, there's Lego in the back. Absolutely. That comes with the nice thing is, of having some weeks off, is that I can actually do my other hobby, which is indeed building some Lego. So that's also really cool. Anywho, let's just start with the show and let's get things cracking. By the way, if you have a tip for us and you want us to to check it together, then please go ahead and write that down. Just say tip and then what piece of gear you think is really cool. Let's just say it needs to be less than 1,100 euro / dollar. I have only one that is 1,500. In hindsight, I should have not done that, but that's the way it goes, right? So I'll just show that one first. And then we have the big gun with the wind, and we can discuss the other stuff. Okay, all right. Without further ado, let's talk about 10 tips for yourself under $1,500, and that is in random order, believe it or not. So that's what we are going to do, and we will be starting immediately with the $1,500 one, and that is this one, the LiveView Solo Pro. The LiveView Solo Pro is the LiveView Solo is a really good way to get your signal across regardless of where you are in the world. You have the possibility to what we call bond different systems, and as you might have noticed, I do have one that looks quite a lot like that right there. It's not the same, but the LiveView Solo Pro is a very new capable product that allows you to have the signal wherever you are. You can also add multiple SIM cards, bonded like I said, but you can also utilize the LRT functionality. This is a monthly fee, to be honest, so it's about, on top of my head, $45-50 per month, but it will allow you to bond those 3 or 4 signals together for a better data experience. Now that is video data, to be honest, so it's not data that you can use for your computer, but it's video data. But if you are making money on location and you don't know where you're going and you don't know if you have enough bandwidth, then that is definitely one that I would recommend. Personally, I already also use 9 out of 10 times 2 SIM cards, one for one carrier and the second one for a different carrier, so that if one carrier has a fail, it can go to the other one. And if it's really important to me, I'll add a third one, because why do I need 4th? But it can handle up to 4 signals. That's immediately the most expensive one. The LiveView, I really like it. As you can see, I like their products. But I am also conscious of the fact that typically they're very expensive. But I think that this one is the one that to go for. Do not buy the other LiveView Solos anymore. They are end of life. They will go away. I'm pretty sure of that. The LiveView Solo Pro, the one that I showed you just now, and I will re-show them one more time. This one, this layout, that's the one that you want to go for. This is the HDMI version. The SDI version is more expensive, but just a converter will do quite nicely, I would say. Another tip that I see from people that from MT in this case is the Manual Director Mini is on the wish list, but it's far away from at the moment. Yeah, I saw that. Aaron Parecki did have a nice video about it. Looked really promising, and I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. So that might be also a good a tip. The same thing goes, of course, for the YOLO boxes. They are really nice as well, but decided to leave them out for this year. Well, there's another tip that I could just give you. The reasoning behind it is that I wanted to go for a gear that you can reuse also in different ways across multiple different show sizes, etc., etc. So that is the reason why I did not choose for the YOLO box for this time around. So that was the most expensive one, and again, this is the Solo, the HDMI version. Now let's go to the second one, and that's actually the one that I discussed last week, and that is the Blackmagic Speed Editor, and it's about 400 euros, $400, and I think that is a really nice setup for if you want to have an editing suite. Let me explain. There are multiple use cases for that one. One of them is indeed just editing. So if you have like a camera, maybe a Blackmagic camera or whatever, it doesn't matter. It can also be your iPhone for that matter. You can just bring it into DaVinci Resolve as a editing suite. DaVinci Resolve you can download for free. And if you buy that speed editor, you can actually get the studio version for free. So that means that you have the fully unlocked version as well, as based as if you buy that piece of equipment, which is really, really nice, I can tell you. Then that's so you can just edit it very quickly. What you can also do, where you can also use it for, is for a combination with your A10 Mini ISO systems. If you have one, the A10 Mini ISO, the A10 Mini Extreme ISO, or the A10 SDI ISO, or all ISO products. You can use it therefore as well, because what those ISO products do is that they record every single signal separately, and then it will also create a DaVinci project, and that DaVinci project you can just read into your DaVinci Resolve suite, and it will automatically provide you exactly the cutting points as per how you did it live. But then you can tweak it with the speed editor, and that's a really nice way of doing it. And you also have the possibility of having the what they call sync bin, and that is really like multiple tracks that you, and then you can just choose which angle that you want to see, and therefore then also maybe prevent some issues that you did live. I really like the speed editor, and that's the reason why I've added it to the mix. I also have a tip again, and I like those tips, so please get them in. Another tip is for shorter runs using SDI, you don't need expensive HD cable, regular RG5975 ohms coax cable with carrier signals up to 50 meters. That is really cool, and it's good that is possible. I wanted actually to say a little bit differently myself. I did, but indeed, if you this needs to be a good cable anyway. So don't buy, let's say, cheap cables anyway, because especially ATEM switchers do run into issues at least after the 50 meters. So I know that they mentioned 70 meters, that's the hypothetical amount that will work quite nicely. And yes, I can tell from personal experience that up to 60 meters it works like a charm, but I can also say that 100 meters it won't cut it. So that 70 meters is indeed hypothetical, a good example. My cables are all 50 meters or less, just for the sake of making sure that I have enough signal strength to avoid dropouts. So that is what I typically do, and it seems that MT is also saying that, right, Frankie? And mostly 50 meters are enough for productions, at least for use cases. Absolutely, for my use cases, 50 meters is way enough for what I do, but I'm very happy that I already have two sets, and a set for me is an SDI cable and a Ethernet cable. No, they're not in one spindle, there are two spindles, but I because I use PTZ cameras most of the time, I need both cables because I want to switch SDI. and therefore that's important to me. But by the end of this year, I will have 3 sets. So that is the third one, and thank you so much. Yeah, indeed, 50 meters. That is, I keep that in mind. Absolutely, very good. Sometimes Scooter is looking at me, so that's cool. Next to that, I want to go to another one, and that's also at least less expensive, of course, and that is this one right here, the Elgato Stream Deck Plus. This one I actually also mentioned last year in my tips, though the price has dropped a little bit, 225 euros. That's one thing. The second thing is that now it has full support by vMix if you purchase the vMix 27 license, or at least upgrade to the vMix 27 license. Then you'll get the full Stream Deck experience. I'm actually using it as well. I can also dim the lights with it as well, as you can see a little bit right there. I really like the possibilities that it has. I think for me it's enough for this show. I can imagine that for bigger shows I will not use a Stream Deck. I will use a bigger Stream Deck XL. But for here in my studio, it's perfect. It has a small footprint and it has a lot of functionality built in. So that is a Stream Deck Plus, a really nice one. And it also works with the companion and also with central control as well. Empty says, question, can you build a Stagebox with 2 Blackmagic's 21100 IP converters? Yes, you can. You definitely can. That's a good question, by the way. The 2110 IP converters, what it has is you have 3 inputs and 3 outputs, and what you can do is that you can in the screen on the device itself, but you can also do that, and I would argue that's better. Just connect a USB cable to it and use your laptop. What you can do is that you can set a IP address, for example, 192.168.101. Sorry, that's not a good idea. 102 and 100, and on the second device 103. And then basically, if you do that, and the mask, the 2552, and the gateway are 101, then basically you don't need any router between the two. You can just hook them up directly, both of them, and basically you get a Stagebox, and you can have both ways. So you can have 3 signals that go to a stage. For example, you want to have a iMac situation, but it does come with a quirk. I'm going to tell you in just a bit. But you can provide some information to a screen right there. iMac, I will not use it for. Again, talking about it in just a bit. But also you can get 3 signals back, so 3 cameras, for example, back from the stage to where you are situated. Now, why do I say that you can use it? You can't use it for iMac is that there is a slight delay. It is not really long, but it is noticeable. So I would recommend not to use it for iMac situations. I can imagine that you want to push some presentations on the screen that you received from the computer on the stage, for example. That will be very nice. And you can also, for example, have a top-down shot and a the computer screen on the back end of where the presenter is. That will also work. But if you do this, you will have a delay, and that is noticeable. So I will not do that. But yes, you can make that like a nice trunk or like a Stagebox, and you don't need any router in between of that. You can, but you don't need to. Rotary encoders and vMix, that what's not to like? Absolutely, it's a really cool, and one of the use cases that I have been playing with during IBC and also later in the year, is that if you have a side-by-side presenter, and that person has a tendency to walk a little bit out of frame, you can just navigate that frame a little bit with by using the rotary knobs. Of course, you need to program it, but that is possible and it works like a charm. So I would highly suggest to use it for that purpose. So yes, it is possible and it actually works like a charm. The ultimate stage box setup for 6 SDIs, 1 cat, 6 cable. Yes, 3 ins and 3 outs. That's what you can do with those two machines. So you're for about 1,100 euros, I think, roughly 1,100 to 1,150. You have a stage box functionality. So that is a very good tip. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next one in line. Let me consult my notes a little bit. Let me show you again where we were. We were, of course, talking about the Stream Deck Plus, but we were going to move on to the next in line, and that one is a bit of a, let's say, one thing that is a little bit moved a little bit differently than expected. So this is the Go XLR. It's about a $300 system. And it actually, I was really debating if I wanted to put this on the list. Let me explain. Because in the summer of this year, I thought the Go XLR was about to die. I got some information that luckily turned out to be totally wrong. But it looked like that by Behringer buying the Go XLR product, that the product was actually was dying out. It turned out that is wrong because there is now also a white version of the same. But why am I bringing that up? Is that you have been listening for like 3-4 years to a Go XLR. It's a really nice product. It gives me a lot of potential routing possibilities, which I really like. Maybe I can just share my screen a little bit to show you what I typically am looking at. Let me make this a little bit bigger and show you this. There you go. Make it a little bit smaller. You can just barely see it. So this is the Go XLR software, and I am actually using it also for this show. This is just coloring and that kind of stuff. That's not interesting, but you can add samples if you like, and you can use these buttons right here to use that to play samples. There are of course also all kinds of presets that you can also add right here. I'm not using it for that. What I am using it for is what is below this list, and let me increase it. Here you see a mixing desk that allows me to do quite a lot. So I have a headphone jack right here. I have all kinds of different mixing possibilities here. The microphone that you're listening to, I can actually also add this as music, which is what is it. This is not music in this case, but this is, for example, everything that I got from Google Chrome goes via the music channel. I could have also used it the game channel. And as you can see, there's also the possibility of a line in and line out. And this is the system at the moment. I brought this one totally down because I don't need to listen to myself at the moment. But the system is also the way that I listen to the music that you listen to when I'm starting the show. So that's that. Effects, yeah, not really interested in to be honest. But the cuff is really very handy because if I, for some reason, have to cough, I can just go like this. And you could not hear me at all. I can also just, of course, curse you. Blah, 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 blah. I can do that as well if I would like to. And of course, I can change the lighting. But this part is where the product shines. The routing. This is where I can 100% pinpoint how I want the audio to sound, what you can hear, what I can hear, and when I can hear it. And that's exactly what this product really shines at, and I'm really happy to say that it's still active, it's still working. It has been around for some years, so maybe in about 2 years we talk a little bit differently, but it definitely looks like this one is here to stay for just a tad longer than expected before. So that is the Go XLR right there. There's also a Go XLR Mini that's even cheaper, and it only has the faders and all the right end. Yes, so it has the faders and the right end of the unit, and not the center of the unit. So that is all gone. But that is what it is, and that is exactly what you're listening to for a long period of time. And for a production that only needs one XLR cable, one XLR, because that's important to note. There's only one XLR input on this one. Then this is really something that is very handy to work with. Are you calling us Blas? Yeah, I'm not a cursing person, but you can if you like. Let me see what I have here. Brandon did a video on that. Oh yeah, Brandon, indeed. Yes, the guy of Live. What's his name these days? Live Production Mastery. I think it's his channel is these days. Yes, that's 100% the one that I also saw. That's the reason why I knew what I could do. Indeed, the ultimate stage box. I already talked about that. Frankie says, sorry to go back with a difference. What is the difference between the LiveView Solo and the new Pro? Good question. Where to start? The outgoing LiveView, they didn't announce that it's going to be outgoing, to be honest to me. But I have but it has been around for quite some time, and it definitely still is a good system. But I will not invest in that anymore, because the LiveView Solo Pro comes with some additional features. One of them is, of course, the HEVC codec. So not H.264, but H.265, which is really cool. Which means that with less data, you can have the same quality of signal. You can also use the same unit for SRT. So you also have the possibility now to not only have the old RTMP setup, but also SRT. That being said, I'm not sure if it then uses the LRT, because SRT typically is a point-to-point solution. I'm a bit debating if they are using it before that, but I have to check. And it's just a more capable product if it comes to audio monitoring and that kind of stuff. It's also bigger, and it has more power than the old version had. If I can get my hands on that LiveView Solo Pro, I will definitely talk about it as soon as I can. And yes, I'm working on that as well. Eric says, I'm so happy there's no cursing on the show, but if there was cursing, Go XLR to the rescue. Yep, absolutely. There's no cursing here. Not us, but maybe you. Sport Chat says, welcome from Arizona, Alberto here. Nice, Alberto. Good to see you, sir. Appreciate you taking the time. And Arizona is a beautiful state, by the way. Been in Phoenix, and yeah, of course, Flagstaff and that kind of stuff. You know, the standard touristic. But what was the name again? Sedona. Sedona was my favorite. Anyway, that's just a quick thing there. That was the Go XLR, and of course we need to talk. We have some time to move on. Next in list, let me check. Oh yeah, also very important, mounting functionality. So that's this one right here, the Manfrotto 244RC and the Super Clamp. So this is a combination of the two, and the combination of the two is 325 euros. So it is a quite expensive mount, but it's extremely versatile and very handy. Unfortunately, this clamp that I'm looking at right now is stuck to the table. So if I do this, you will see that it shakes a little bit. But I am using two of them, and I'm really happy with that. And I think that I'm really considering to add a third one as well, maybe even a fourth, because if I can hook up my cameras out of sight, then I'd rather do that than having a big tripod. And that's really where this product shines. It's quite expensive, yes, absolutely, but it's really capable and it's very sturdy and very strong. So the Manfrotto 244, I think that I just used it for the last gig that I did. I also showed you some pictures, and you could still see how they go. So I would highly recommend to go to the previous live show to check that out. So that's the Manfrotto 244RC Super Clamp with a capital L, I now see. I cannot even write the clamp. All right. Let me see. Oh, Empty, thank you so much for indeed providing the URL. Be aware that the 244RC does not come with the clamp, so you do need to purchase that separately. Sporty says you look more vivid. Any changes to lighting? I think that I brought the light a little bit down, to be honest. So I don't know if there's a lot of changes. There's also a little bit of a different angle going on, just a tad, so maybe that is what you see, but I'm not sure. And the Black B&H link is right there. Thank you so much for adding that, because that is very helpful for everybody. Did I forget somebody? Let me check. No, it doesn't seem like it. Perfect. Nice. Yeah, moving on, I think, right? So it's getting, so this was the last one, the Manfrotto 244 and the Super Clamp right here. The next one in the list, and that's a new product that is, well, it is released, but I have not had the opportunity to work with it yet, but definitely on my list. That's the Elgato Prompter for 300 euros or $300, I believe, as well. The Elgato Prompter is, like the name suggests, a prompter, of course, but it's a little bit different than a standard prompter, because it actually comes with an attached real monitor. So you don't have to get also an iPad or an iPhone. That kind of shizzle is not needed anymore. You can just directly have a monitor that from the get-go also converts the orientation immediately. You don't even have to think about it anymore. So that is really great. On top of that, it comes with a plethora of different options, so that you can also push in cameras, like for example the A6400 that I have in front of me. I will definitely want to buy one of these, because like I said at the start of the show, I want to bring more value to you guys. That means that I also need to start reading from a prompter, so that I have more to talk about, and that is the reason why I do that. But it doesn't only do that. It doesn't only it cannot only be used for the prompter. It can actually also be a second screen. Yes, that's right. So what you do is you connect it via USB-C connector to your laptop, for example, or to your PC, and it acts as a second screen. So you can also put in, for example, your chat right in front of you, so that you can read it without the need to check something else. So that's the Elgato Prompter, and I really will definitely buy one myself. So that will be one of my the ones that I will put on my list to purchase for next year, or maybe hopefully I can already get it during Christmas. You never know. It is a really reasonably priced and complete prompter, like Eric definitely says, and I think that that's 100% correct. And thank you again for that prompter link. Appreciate it. So yeah, that is the Elgato prompter, and again, very nice price. Oh, my bad. Very nice price and very, very welcome. So that is the Elgato prompter. Next up in the line, let me quickly verify my notes. This one you could have seen coming from a mile away, but I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. This is what you really need to have in any big production, the MDHX by Decimator. It is a scaler and that is really top notch. It's like I always say it's a Swiss Army knife. You need to have at least one of them if you ever do live productions. It allows you, for example, to split a signal into from a laptop to a screen, but then you can interject that signal and then it goes to your production. And you can also make sure that the screen is also has the correct resolution and frame rate so that it can actually handle the presentation. So it has a full scaler built in. I have now 3 of these, and I actually have to use all of them sometimes. So it's extremely handy to have, and I highly recommend to pay that money one day because it will be very helpful. You can use the screen to configure it and also set the resolution, etc. But to be honest, I rather do this also in the intermediate, the software package that they have, because it's way easier to understand what's going on than on the display itself. But it is possible you don't need a computer screen to have that. Indeed, the Decimator at the MDHX, again, a Swiss Army knife. You should buy one, absolutely, without any doubt. And this is the link. Thank you so much, MT, for helping out here. All right, so yeah, that one was, you could have smelled that from a mile away that I would talk about that one, because I always talk about that one. I still have three left, and again, bring those tips if you like. If you have some tips yourself, I still have 3 left that I want to talk about, and the next one is, oh, that was not this one, of course. That was this one. Boom. The Blackmagic Video Assist 7-inch, 750 euros. So yes, we're getting a little bit into the higher territories again. But this 7-inch monitor is really a nice piece of equipment. Why? Well, of course, having a good screen is very important, but the screen does more than that. You can also use it as an additional recording device. So, for example, if you want to have a second recording, then you can use this one as well. I can imagine that if you have a paid gig, then that, yeah, you cannot do without. A second reason why you should buy one of these, and that's actually my use case, is that if you have a bad eyesight, like I have, you need to have something that helps you to say it's in focus, yes or no. So it has false colors to say, hey, Petra, this is in focus, so you can just go ahead and select this camera and go there. So basically what I'm planning to do is that I'm going to use that small 7-inch screen, pushing it side by side to my multi-view, and reroute the preview to that monitor. And if I do that, I can actually see what I'm going to, and I can make sure that it's all in focus. I can either say to the cameraman, hey, watch your focus, pull it a bit in, or I can with my own PTZ camera just hit the autofocus, for example, to make sure that everything is correctly aligned, and then move to that camera. Really important. Why the 7-inch, by the way, not the 5-inch? That's maybe a good question. The 7-inch also comes with additional connectors for audio, so it also gives not only a bigger screen, but it has a little bit more functionality, and that functionality is really important to me. So that is because in the end, I am also an audio person as well. So that is the reason why I have decided to push for the 7-inch, not the 5-inch. Because all of my productions are HD. I've chosen for the 3G model. There's also a 12G model of both the 5-inch and the 7-inch. The only difference between the two is that the 12-inch, of course, has more functionality and higher resolutions than the other one. That's basically the whole difference between the two. So that is the video editor. The only 3G version, the 12G version is 1125. Yeah, and again, I'm only using it for AC content anyway, so I don't see any reason not to do that. And it says the street price of the MDHX is slightly lower. It's to 327 euros right now, although it seems to be sold out until way into the next year. Yeah, that happens, Niels. To be honest, I had to wait half a year to get mine. So what I now do is that because I want to actually have 4 to be 100% ready, but with 3 I can basically do everything myself. So I'm a bit debating if I want to get a 4th, but the third that I bought, I needed that one for sure, but it took me half a year to get it. So just a bit of a yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance, but it is what it is. Correction for myself: there are retailers that with availability of stock of MDHX. There you go, boom. Definitely go buy that thing. It's definitely important. You will be very glad that if you would, for example, add a MacBook to your content, it might be flickering a little bit. With that converter, it's gone. You need it. There you go. Not that I'm not in favor of MacBooks, by the way. I love MacBooks. All right, that is the Blackmagic Video Assist 7-inch with indeed also the functionality of mini XLR. That is really important. Next up is yes, this one right here. Boom. Another a mixer, the Allen & Heath CQ12T or CQ18T. Yes, I actually have here 2 models of in total 3 because I am not 100% sure which one is best yet for you, for your functionality. But indeed, these 2 are very, very interesting. They came out in the end of September, early October, so they're really very young. They are sold out at the moment, at least in Europe. They might not be sold out in the US, but definitely in Europe, they're sold out everywhere that you look. But they are extremely interesting, I can tell you. Let me tell you a bit of a story why I'm interested in Allen & Heath. It's going to be a little bit subjective, I have to tell you. So, as you might know, I also have an X32 rack that I use for my video productions. And quality-wise, audio-wise, it's extremely good, right? It's a fantastic system. It works like a charm with that as well. And with the X Touch that I also bought with it, so that I only have like a mixing board in front of me during the live streams or live shows. It's a really good mixer. Absolutely. Still, I think it stinks. Sorry. This is where the subjective part comes into play. Why do I think that the X32 rack stinks? Well, it's more about I think it's not logical. The logical the way that the system is lined up, the UI that it uses, it's terrible. But audio-wise is perfect. Don't get me wrong. Audio-wise is perfect, but it's just it has a lot of things going for it. The UI tries to give a lot of information in one go. That might be very interesting for a lot of people, but it's just not. It's not simple. It's quite difficult to understand what it's doing. And that's the reason that I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love it for what it is. It's very easy to pick up and go to a location and just install it and go for it. Absolutely. But to make it perfect, to have the correct processing connected to it, it's quite a challenge because the screen is really small. I have bad eyesight. I just mentioned that to you. And it doesn't have touchscreens. You have to use rotary knobs all of the time and buttons and that kind of stuff. Ugh, it's just not my thing. But I personally, I was like, okay, it's just the way it goes. I will not. I don't have a better solution. But I do know Allen and Heath quite well. I used to work with the GLD80, which is an old digital audio mixer by Allen and Heath. I love that thing really a lot. Now, then I bought my QU16, which I have right here in a box. It's right there. You can hear it maybe. I'm knocking it on wood. This QU16, really nice Allen and Heath mixer. Extremely easy to understand. Works like a charm. It's a little bit old. It's 10 years old already. But it works like a charm. It's really beautiful, and I understand it perfectly. It's logical. Now comes that CQ18 and 12. The CQ range, by the way, is 3 machines, and I left purposely one out, which is a stage box, because I don't see a reason to buy it. But these two are really interesting, and to be honest, I'm a little bit in debate with myself. Would I go for the 12T or the 18T? What is the difference? Well, let me show the screen again. So the 12T has 12 inputs and the 18T has 18 inputs. That's the difference on a input variant. So unlike the Go XLR that has only one XLR input, or maybe the Rodecaster Pro that only has 4 inputs, you still have like 10 inputs at your disposal, 10 XLR inputs, and then even a stereo jack input. On the right hand side you see the 18T, and that has 16 inputs, and it also has 6 outputs, and it also has the possibility to record everything that you do. It also has the possibility to be connected via the Ethernet. It has a iPad application, both of them, by the way, where the 18 connections also has a antenna, so that you can hook up your iPad app without the need of a router. That's on the right hand side. The left hand side does not have that. So on the left hand side you can use still the iPad app that belongs to the CQ series, but you do need to have a router, and that's not needed on the right hand side. And of course you also see the rotary knobs that are on the left hand side, on the right hand side on the 18T, and that is just a way to really navigate very easily without the need to touch the screen all of the time. The thing that mixer is as big as a laptop. It's thicker, absolutely thicker, but it's as big as your laptop. So it doesn't have, you don't have a lot of real estate that is needed for it. It has a best-in-class audio mixer, 96 kilohertz FPGA, so field programmable gate array. It has a plethora of assistants, and that's where the cookie really shines, is that it has auto gain. So what you do is that you just select your inputs, and you just press auto gain, and it will automatically set the gain if, for example, a band's playing or so people are talking, and it will automatically set that gain. And then once during to your production the gain gets hot, so too loud, it will automatically make it less. So that is the gain assist. So hands off. It's set and forget, which is what I need for a live stream. Then it also has feedback assist, so it removes feedback. So, for example, that noise that you have when a microphone picks up a piece of sound, that will also be removed, which is great. It also has they built an AMM, which also allows you to automatically duck people that are not talking and only open up the microphone for one that is speaking, which is also set and forget. And the list goes on. It has a lot of functionality built in, and that's the reason that that one of those two will definitely be on the list. And as a matter of fact, I will tell you up front that I will be purchasing one next week. But I'm not going to tell you which one yet because I need to still think about a few things. Both of them will do, but it's just a matter of do I want to spend the additional money for the convenience of not having to have a router, and the convenience of having more inputs, and the convenience of having those rotary knobs that might be a little bit like you don't need it. Basically, you need it. So that's a bit of the thing. So these mixers they just came out, and I can tell you they sound great already. I know that for a fact, and I think that it's going to be a game changer. Pretty sure of that. Neil says, I agree wholeheartedly. I've been very close to buying an X32 or an XR18, but I've shied away from doing it because of the UI and the apps. Yeah, it's not great. It's not a great experience. Eric says it's one of those devices you could never turn over to a volunteer in live gig situation. Absolutely agree with that, Eric. Absolutely 100% agree with that. That's not even a problem for me. I'm selfish and I worry about my own sanity. Oh wow, I think that we're all like-minded. That's cool. MT says out again we use at work for panel discussions. I use it with 16 mics. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I would go with the CQ18 because you would run out of options soon. I am very much on that 18T to be honest as well. But let me think about it. There's one problem with the CQ series at the moment. They're sold out, like I said. And there's most likely a reason for it because they're really good. And that means that I might need to wait for 2-3 months to get it. So I'm telling you now that I'm very much interested in it. But wait a little bit if you can, but because I will definitely review one of those two. Don't go for the stage box. Please don't. Again, reason why I've not chosen the stage box is not, well, the stage box by itself looks really great because also the outputs, unlike the other two, the outputs are all XLR based, which I personally do like more than a jack based. But it doesn't come with a screen, so you have to remotely control it. But that comes with some quirks because you have only one button on the system, and with that same button you can choose if it has a Wi-Fi or it has Ethernet, but you can also use it to upgrade the system. But that's only one system. It's only one button. It's don't like it. It's just like an accident waiting to happen, right? Frank says I came from sound using X32 and XRF for years. Love them. Frankie, that's great. I mean, if you like it, absolutely. I'm not judging anybody with regard to what you think, but I'm just mentioning how I see it. But I think it's also what you have learned to work with. And also, please be aware that there's a difference, I think, between the X32 full-size mixer and the X32 rack. Because the X32 rack is typically, well, in a rack, far from you. You don't really see that screen. And if you want to see the screen, you have to go very close. Like you sit on your knees or something to check it out, because it's not on the eyesight, etc. So it's also being the rack version of it, to be honest. So, but I'm still gonna use it until the other system arrives. So that's that. I only have one more left, and again, these are all in non-particular orders. So feel free to see what you guys think is best. I have one last one, and that also has a relationship with the idea of getting more to cinematic videos, etc. that I started the show with. And that is the last one, and that is this one. I don't own one myself, but I have access to it, the DJI Pocket 3. 450 euros. It comes with the possibility to have a landscape screen, and of course has a gimbal built in, so you can have a very nice video. But what you can also have with it is that you can also have a 1-inch screen, so it has very nice depth of field. And on top of that, it also has the possibility to, it's very smart. For example, if I would take my phone and show it to you, like so, right? So I'm still in picture, it will automatically focus on this and not on my face, because it knows that I want to show you my phone. So that is something that, for example, it does automatically, which is also very nice for me. So that is indeed the last one that I wanted to talk about today. That was the DJI Com at Osmo and the Osmo Pocket 3. Thank you so much, MT, for that. All right. Those are 10 tips that I had for you guys lined up for this year. I hope that you got some inspiration. Of course, it's always very difficult to make these lists for everybody. That's also not the intent, but it gives you maybe some inspiration. And again, it's in no particular order, because one, you might, think about that this is important for somebody, but it might not even be important for you. So please check out what you think. This is the last episode of 2023. I am very much looking forward to the new year. I will be back on the 13th of January 2024. And of course, we'll start a little bit slow with a welcome back, and we can sit together and enjoy it a little bit. But I'll see you then. I won't see you before that date, so I will now also say to you, Merry Christmas already, if you believe in that, and also a happy new year, and stay healthy, and I'll see you in 2024. Have a fantastic week, guys, and have a fantastic rest of the month. See you on the 13th of Jan 2023. And of course, I need to make sure that something is ready here. So here goes nothing. Have a good day. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye. Whoa! Wait a second. We have somebody who's here. Hi. Oh, okay. We both want to wish you a good 2024. Bye-bye.